Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about The Walking Dead episode 612, titled Not Tomorrow Yet, which premiered Sunday, March 6, 2016 on AMC. Guys, sorry for the late delay posting on this, but let's get started. And reminder, haven't read the comics, so keep that in mind. So, 10-minute clock. And begin. Something new that we learned in this episode. Timeline-wise, this happens the very next day of the previous episode, as we see the team that went to see the Hilltop Colony returns with news about the deal that they have struck with the Hilltop Colony. That's basically they'll have this trade situation hooked up between the two of them if they get rid of the saviors for the Hilltop Colony, who and because for the saviors have been taking half of everything the Hilltop Colony has been raking in, crops, food, livestock, all of that. So and they're taking some other people too. So if Alexandria can get rid of the saviors, then they have a set working relationship with Hilltop Colony. So on this raid onto the saviors camp, we see everyone pitching in, but we also see Glenn and Heath make their first human kills, because up to this point all their kills have been walkers. So it's definitely a big milestone for them, and we definitely see it. And it comes to the point that Glenn struggles, yet does make that first kill. And then just when Heath is about to do it, Glenn does it for him, so that Heath doesn't have to feel what Glenn is feeling in that moment. But then later on, that's all shot to hell, because they end up open firing on a hallway of saviors who were barricading, who cornered them into an armory lockup from the looks of it. So in order to save themselves, they just shot through the door aimlessly, and they killed everyone who was there, which is kind of reckless, because what if it was one of their own people that was there? But never mind. So then relationship wise, we got to see a bit of relationships going on in this episode. First, we see Carol and Tobin getting a little closer and actually sharing a kiss between each other. So that was a bit of a shocker there. Also, we see Abraham breaking up with Rosita and packing his things to move out of the room they share together. She does not handle it at all, and Eugene walks in on them while eating a cookie. And he's just like, doesn't see what the issue is with that right there. And then also we see Tara and Denise. We see Tara saying, "I love you" to Denise for the first time, only for us to learn later on that she said it in the moment to hide up the fact that she was thinking of what they're about to do to the saviors. But back to the moment, Denise doesn't say it to Tara. She saves it so that as an incentive for Tara to come back home. She said, like, "I'll say it when you get back." So because after the raid, Tara is meant to go on a 2-week scavenger mission with Heath. So it's going to be for 2 weeks that the couple's not going to see each other. So it's definitely that. But moving on, most shocking moment of the episode, it'd have to be the relationship between Carol and Tobin. I was not expecting it at all. Like, before this episode, no idea for sure. I always thought Carol and Daryl or something. But then in this episode, when they had that moment over the beaten acorn cookies, then maybe there was something hinting possibly. And then when she goes to see him, or during her smoke run, or she just happens to run across him during her smoke run, and then she brings up the fact that, or he brings up the fact that she's kind of like mother towards everyone in town, kind of with the motherly instincts, even though she doesn't technically have her child anymore. And then when she asks him, "Well, how do you see me?" in hopes that he doesn't see her as a mother, but he sees her as something else, and they kiss. So that was definitely surprising. I wasn't expecting that at all. So moving on, top 3 favorite moments. First one has to be the military formation that Rick's group had when they were storming the Saviors camp. While what they were doing is kind of wrong, yet understandable in the world they're in, what I liked is the preparation behind it that they had, the execution, excuse the pun, but of how they did everything. The quiet formation, how they knew where each of them needed to go, what needed to be done, the precision behind it all, and the fact that they planned everything to the T. I really liked that part, to see a plan. For as long as they were in that camp and undetected, I was impressed with how big a group they were. So it was just how coordinated they were. I really liked that, even though on on the back of my head, I know that this is definitely going to bite them in the butt, because you can't just storm into a camp and just slaughter them and not leave unscathed. So, yeah. But, yeah, the military formation that we see and how they did everything the way they did, it was definitely surprising, but I definitely liked it that they've come so far. The whole reason I like the military formation is because it shows how much of a unit they are, how much in sync they are, and that's why I liked it. Not because of the fact that they went and raided the Saviors camp, but the fact that that moment showed the unity between them all, when essentially it's a mix of Rick's original group and then the Alexandrians that are going in. So the fact that it shows their unity together, it definitely shows how far they've come as a group. So that's what I liked about it, not the fact that they raided the Savior camp, just to make that clear. Next favorite moment has to be the whole Carol distributing cookies at the very beginning of the episode. It was so random, yet so amusing. We see her scavenging for acorns in the woods, and then we see her preparing for the day, the shower, going in the closet, and picking what kind of housemaker outfits with all the floral prints and the sweater vests and like stuff like that. And then we see her baking in the kitchen, very high-end looking kitchen with all these baked goods surrounding her, and then she's out on the town delivering them in Tupperware to everyone she comes across in the town. And while it was so random and yet it seems so out of place in a zombie apocalypse, I liked it because it still showed that Carol was keeping up the upbeat morale around town, and she was taking care of everybody as best as she could. And even if it's such a small gesture like that, I really like that, which I didn't expect at all. And next favorite moment was the fact that Tara brought up how she did this raid thing already when she was with the governor. And while it brought up bad memories about that time, I liked the fact that she brought it up and that she voiced the fact that I've already been in this situation before, and I didn't like it then, and I didn't like it now. She didn't trust the governor, first off, when he told them we're going to storm these people at the prison because they're going to come after us. So there's that. But then we see her in the same position again, but this time she trusts Rick. And so she's going in it again, even though she doesn't want to go in a battle again. So I really like that they brought the two situations up, though, and they drew parallels between it. I definitely like when they bring history like that back to kind of show whether they've learned from it or whether they're repeating the same mistakes again. So there's that. Top 3 peep moments. First one has to be the Maggie and Carol were captured. Go figure that when they think that they're doing a smooth raid on the Savior's Cap, there's going to be a bump in that plan, in a portion of the plan that they can't control, which happens to be Maggie and Carol, who were on guard outside, farther away from the camp, so it's not like anyone from the camp could back them up and such. So it just sucks that at the end we find out that they've been captured. And also another peach was the fact that the fact that Maggie was in the field. I like that Carol actually showed that she disagreed with the fact that Maggie was being in the field. I mean, Maggie is pregnant now. She should be more careful in which missions she agrees to go on. I mean, it's not just her life on the line anymore. She has to care for this unborn child growing inside of her. And the fact that she's going on a raid like this, where there is a good chance that they're going to see some fight, it makes no sense why she's there, why she's risking it, why she's making even more trouble for herself to care and make sure she survives for her and the baby. And I really like Carol showed that. She was kind of like my mouthpiece in that regard. And yes, I get that it's Maggie's choice, and I like the fact that Rick didn't order her to stay behind, but Maggie should have been in the right mind frame or mindset that she shouldn't be out in the field like that. I mean, it's not just her own well-being she has to take care of. So that just really bugged me, the fact that she would be in the field when she's pregnant. I wouldn't care if she wasn't pregnant in the field, then it only makes sense if she was. But the fact that she's pregnant really changes how I feel on her being in the field. Because with the whole zombie apocalypse, every life is precious and all that, and if you have the opportunity to bring more life into it, like Maggie is given, then you should really take care of that. Because it's not really, population isn't really growing like it's supposed to, if you know what I mean. And yeah, that's about it. I forgot what my other third peeve was that I thought earlier, but I can't remember it now. So all I remember most about this episode, the fact that we got that midnight massacre on the Saviors. That was pretty brutal, and they definitely didn't go down without a fight once they realized what was happening. But our Alexandrians came out on top for that. There's the timer. Almost done. But moving on to random questions. First one. We know that Negan wasn't in that Savior camp because we know that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is playing Negan and we didn't see him at all. But the question is, how many Savior camps do you think there are? I mean, Michonne even asked Rick at the very end. It's like she was wondering which one of the men they killed inside was Negan. Answer from us, the fans, no, they didn't kill him. So, or we didn't see him, because I would assume if they killed Negan, they would have showed him on screen. So, it's best assumption that they haven't already. So, how many more Savior camps are there out there? Because I have a really bad feeling that it's a lot bigger than just this one group. I feel like this one group that they just slaughtered was like a branch of Negan's network of saviors and stuff like that. Next question. What made the people of Alexandria so sure to side with the Hilltop Colony and take down the saviors? I mean, was it because the saviors was the group of people that threatened to kill Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha, and they were basing that encounter with how the rest of the saviors are going to deal with them, and that's why they have dubbed them the bad guys? I mean, is that what they're basing off of? Because basically the Hilltop Colony is basically as much of an unknown entity as the saviors. They're both unknown factors, and yet you're made to decide, or you're meant to choose which one you're going to side with and then take out the other one. Well, how do you know which one if you have no previous knowledge with them? The only previous knowledge they had was Jesus from the Hilltop Colony and then that biker gang from the saviors. So is that all they're going to base their situation on? Because for all we know, things could have been a whole lot different if they actually sided with the saviors and went after the Hilltop Colony. I'm just wondering if what their thought process behind that was. If there's anything in the comics that showed thought process, if the same storyline played out that way. But let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely interested to what you think about that whole situation. And last question. Do you think Sasha will react to Abraham breaking up with Rosita? Do you think she'll even make a move now that he's a free man, or vice versa? I definitely don't think Rosita would take it too well once she finds out that Abraham has his sights set on Sasha. So there's that. Moving on to predictions. Based off the promo for 6/13, we see Carol and Maggie having to deal with their savior captors. This is either kind of the meanwhile while the group was raiding the camp, and then afterwards, after that whole walkie-talkie scene at the end of the episode. So we'll definitely see what happens with that. Based off the sneak peek we see in Talking Dead, it looks like the like Carol and Maggie's side of it's kind of the continuation of Rick being told that Carol and Maggie are now hostages. So the sneak peek kind of showed like their side of that conversation over the walkie-talkie. So it's them just confirming to Rick that they're okay, and that there's at least 3 or 4 saviors that have them as their captors. So there's that. Overall predictions, though, I think we're going to learn just how big a group the saviors are. I don't think it was just that one camp, like I said before. And I also still think that something bad is going to happen to Maggie and the baby. I don't like the feeling. Don't know why I keep having it, but it just won't go away. So that's about it. So what did you guys think of the episode? Did you like what happened? Did anything happen like it did in the comics? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. Also, if you want to see what I reblog about The Walking Dead, it's not as extensive as other shows I follow, but anything that comes across my dashboard, I do reblog it. So link for that will be down below. And that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. So sorry for the delay for posting this. Real life got ahead of me. So much stuff due once again. It just keeps piling up, unfortunately. But tune in next week to see what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, this is Mel. Wishing you all a great day, great week wherever you are. Bye for now.